Hey everybody, it's Eddie here, and in this video, I'm going to be making a case for a $250,000 Bitcoin by the summer of 2022. If there is a video that I'm extremely excited to talk about, it's gonna be this one. Hope you guys enjoy. Now you're probably looking at this chart and you're like, Eddie, what the heck is all this? Well, I'm gonna erase everything and I'm gonna show you guys how I built all this out step by step so you guys can see how I came to that conclusion. So for Bitcoin to hit around $250,000 by summer of 2022, that would be right around here. But before I fill in this gap, I wanna take a look at the past two cycles, or Bitcoin since the beginning when it was created. This would be considered cycle number 1 and cycle number 2. Some people actually like to call this cycle number 1, 2, and 3, but this was too short to be considered a cycle. So what I'm going to do is draw a line from the peak of every cycle, including this one as well in 2011, across, 2013, across, and then we have the 2017 cycle right here. Now, what's significant about these red lines is that Bitcoin after each cycle has never hit those price levels again. So 2013, we ran up, never hit these price levels. 2017, even through these deep corrections, never hit this price level. So what I'm personally assuming is that even after our third cycle right over here, Bitcoin will not reach 20K ever again. Next, I'm going to be drawing 3 yellow lines, one right over here, second one right over here, and the third one right over here. These yellow lines represent a mid-cycle peak. So during the middle of a bull run, Bitcoin peaked out, had a correction, then continued higher here, and higher here. This part is actually going to be really important at the end of the video, so keep that in mind. Next, we're going to draw some triangles to help us recognize some patterns from when Bitcoin started all the way to its first peak to its major correction right over there. That's triangle number 1. Triangle number 2 is going to be from when the halving event in November of 2012 all the way to its next peak up all the way to $1,000, then its major correction down low. Third triangle, we're going to start from July 2016 all the way to its peak, then to its bear market low in 2018. Last but not least, we have the third halving in May of 2020, all the way till we don't know when this is going to peak out, but we're assuming right now around a $250,000 Bitcoin. And how low is this going to correct? Well, assuming that it corrects to the yellow line, and sometimes it can dip below a little bit under the yellow line like we did in 2019, then let's put it at approximately $48,000. Now you might be wondering why this part of the chart is not within the triangle like it did in 2017, but when you look back in 2013, there was a moment in time where it actually left the triangle, came back in, and then continued higher. So I do believe something similar happened here where we did rally up too fast, corrected back down, and now we are on track on time. Next, I'm going to be using the Fibonacci retracement tool. Now, the way that I'm going to be using it may not make sense. I don't even know if it's proper to use it this way, and I don't know if it's actually a thing. But if it's not a thing, and if I'm the first one to ever use it, we're going to call it the double Fibonacci. And I don't think it's going to work with anything else but Bitcoin at the moment. But if we go from the 2011 high all the way to the bear market low, and extend that out, Bitcoin rallied up and made a full extension. Now, during this time, you don't really know where the top is, right? You would have assumed that $123 was the top, but how do you figure out if there's going to be another rally up? You didn't, right? During this time, nobody knew. But we can use this data and apply it to the 2017 and the current cycle. Now, this is the double Fibonacci part that I was talking about. What I did was I grabbed the Fibonacci retracement tool again, went from this high right over here, and then lowered that all the way to the previous high around $30. Now, even with the full extension, Bitcoin did continue higher, but this will play out much better as we look into the 2017 cycle. Now let's take a look at cycle number 2, going from the previous high over here around $1,100, extending that all the way down to the low right over here at this yellow line. But we're going to use the double Fibonacci, theory. We're going to go from the top, 4.236, extend that all the way down to the red line, which is the previous top. And again, although Bitcoin did continue higher, it got pretty close to the top of the extension. Now let's look at the current cycle from the 2017 top, this red line over here. We're going to drag that all the way to the bear market low, which is around $3,200, extend that out. Currently, I do believe that Bitcoin is on its way to make a full extension up to $74,000. Now we're going to apply the double Fibonacci theory. We're going to go from the top of the extension all the way down to this red line over here, extend that all the way out. And this is how I got the $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction. Like the previous two cycles, if Bitcoin does peak out just a little bit more and then comes back down, that is where we get the $300,000 price prediction. Now, just throwing out $250,000 like this, I need to back that up, right? So I'm going to back it up with two different cases. After the 2013 peak to the bear market low of that cycle, Bitcoin corrected around 86%. After the 2017 peak all the way to the bear market low, Bitcoin corrected about 84%. And let's not forget the first part, right? When Bitcoin hit $31, it corrected almost 93%. And so historically, Bitcoin corrected 93% after a peak, 86%, 84%. And so that means that in this cycle, if Bitcoin does end up correcting 80% from $250,000, that is going to put Bitcoin approximately around $48,000, which dips slightly below the yellow line like we did over here. But just like at the tip of this triangle, the bear market low was right around here. I do believe in the next bear market, Bitcoin will hit around the $40,000 range in the summer of 2023. And keep in mind, as the market matures, the corrections get weaker. So first we got a 93% correction, 86, 84. It could even end up being around the 70s, who knows. So to me, just even this alone is convincing enough for me to believe that Bitcoin can hit $250,000. Now there's one more chart that I want to show you just to kind of wrap this up all together. This is the Bitcoin logarithmic regression rainbow by Benjamin Cohen from Into the Cryptoverse. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, definitely check it out. This is one of his indicators. Thank you, Ben, for creating such an awesome indicator. Hope you don't mind me using this on my video. All credits to you. This is getting a little messy, so I'm going to just kind of remove all the drawings for now. Something Ben talks about in his video is how in the first kind of cycle, right, when Bitcoin first started, it hit the red band. But in the second cycle, or not what we call the first cycle, after the first halving, it hit the purple band, right? So it never reached these red bands right over here. In the 2017 cycle, it never hit the red band. It never hit the purple band. Didn't even hit the yellow band. It hit the one right under it. So it seems like each cycle, we are going down almost 2 rainbow bands. Now, if you do 2 rainbow bands from here, that means that it would have been this right over here, and Bitcoin has potentially peaked out. But right now, we're just going to speculate that Bitcoin will end up hitting this band over here instead of this one. If this gray band continues something like this, extended out over here, guess where that hits? It hits the tip of the triangle, hits the top of that line, which is around $250,000, which is in line with my double Fibonacci theory. Now, this peak could be as early as summer and potentially even as late as October or even towards the end of the year. Regardless, the point is that over time, I do think or speculate that Bitcoin could hit $250,000 by 2022. There are other chartings that I've done that does reach up to a $250,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin, but this made the most amount of sense to me. Hope it did for you as well. I'm not saying that this, exact thing will play out, but just based off of this, it is a possibility that this can play out. There's a difference between just saying, hey, Bitcoin's going to hit $250,000 versus backing it up with historical data and with technical analysis. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you guys are interested in learning more about the cryptocurrency space and how I'm navigating these markets, feel free to check out the Patreon group, link down below. We have an amazing team. I post there almost daily. There's a ton of value. It's where I post exclusive content, give updates on technical analysis, share everything that I use, crypto news, let you guys know what I buy, when I buy, and how I plan on exiting this market. And the team overall has been amazing. So if you guys want to check it out, link down below. But other than that, do you think Bitcoin could hit 250K this year or in 2022? Let me know, and only time will tell. Honestly, I'm really excited to look back at this video in 2022 and see if I was close, if I was wrong, if I was right. Who knows? We'll find out over time. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Over. Good night, good morning, adios.